Hey Ryan, what are we up to right now?
What are we up to? Fun answers.
Are out and the streets are gray. You know I wouldn't have it any other.
Right for gays to marry.
Yes.
You do. Do you as well?
Yeah.
Perfect. Do you believe in the right for gays to marry?
I do. I believe everybody has the right to do what they want to do. Whether if they do that or not, I believe everybody has the right to marry who they love.
Oh, that's a loaded one. As an American, I would say, as a person, I'm not a fan of abortion, but I'm pro-choice to protect the freedom of Americans to make their own decisions.
Awesome. And you?
I would agree. I think I would let my moral issues dictate what a woman should do with her own body. I would not always agree with it, but you got to give them the right to do what they want.
Do you believe in abortion rights?
Yes, I do. I believe if a girl is raped, she should not be forced to keep or have the baby. She should have the right to abort.
Do you believe in the decriminalization of marijuana?
Yes.
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 Do you think it will benefit our economy if we do so?
Yes.
I think the motivation should be if it benefits the economy. I think it's just, even though I wouldn't choose to do it and I don't do it, I think it's just stupid that we regulate alcohol, tobacco, and yet marijuana has more medicinal purposes. It helps a lot of people, but it's a stigma.
The decriminalization.
That is very controversial. I have to say, I believe we should legalize it. It can be taxed. We should put more money into the system.
The United States going into Iraq was a good idea, and why?
I think it was not a good idea. I think that the September 11th, most of the people on the airplanes were Saudi Arabians. I think that if you're going to use any sort of military force, that it would be better to do it more on a smaller level with, Navy SEALs or FBI and CIA. Use the intelligence to do this much smaller scale and not have indirectly caused or directly caused the death of a couple million.
Going into Iraq was a good choice.
I don't think we have all the information.
You don't think we have all the information? Okay.
He doesn't trust our government.
Do you believe that we should extend the terms for the members of the House of Representatives?
I believe under the right circumstances, then it would be acceptable, but it really depends on who's in office at the time and what the circumstances are for the reasoning for changing.
Perfect. Should we extend the terms of the members of the House of Representatives?
For that one, I guess it would be a shame on the one hand to lose someone who's really good at their job, and to allow them to still be elected if they're doing a great job to continue their work. So I guess on the one hand, I think extending their ability to be reelected might be a good thing, but that they do have to prove themselves to get reelected. So I think it might be a good thing to extend it.
Perfect. Do you believe that we should have a multi-party system?
I absolutely definitely need a multi-party system. We need differing ideas. Republicans, Democrats, Independents. You should not have a single party. It just doesn't work. It's part of being American.
Hey Ryan, what are you gonna go do right now?
I'm ready to do. I'm going to find some answers. Do you agree with Obama's stimulus package and why?
The new one? I sort of have a problem with it because past experience shows that it doesn't work, and I'm a firm believer that the private sector needs to drive our economy, not the government. So I have a little bit of a problem with the government spending more money, trying to put out and get more entitlements when it is clear to me. The private sector is what's going to grow the economy and grow jobs.
Do you have a sense on that?
I agree with you.
You agree? Okay.
I agree with him 100%.
Awesome. And then
And I am a Democrat.
you are, do you agree with Obama's stimulus package?
No, I don't. Can I tell you why?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm in small business. Okay, you know, all my friends are in small business. I'm a builder. I went to high school here. I spent 30, 40 years. We know all the other small business people. Well, over the last 15 years, we've paid pretty systematically the same kind of taxes, the same kind of bills. Well, 6 months ago, we got a new letter from the government saying, oh, we have a new tax code. You owe another $6,000. Then another, last month, another letter came saying, oh, we've redone the tax code again and you owe $11,000 more. And we called other friends in business and everybody's getting hit bills like this. So what it tells us is that for no change in our parts, we're still doing business as we've been. The government is taking more and more revenues, which translates to we can't afford to hire people and we can barely afford the regular bills. So this country has to make a decision. Do you want to be bureaucratic or do you want to be in small business? This is the only country in the world where small business people have a chance to use their gifts. If you're going to be a bureaucracy, what you're saying is you're betting on non-productive jobs. And that's the problem. So we have a fundamental decision now to reach. Do we want to bet on productive small business type people? I'm not talking just about big business. Or are we going to bet on bureaucracy? And that's the choice now before us.
What is your stance on lowering and raising taxes?
Lie.
Lower 'em?
Yeah, I don't. Nobody likes taxes. They pay for everything. They pay for a lot of stuff, but
What is your stance on lowering and raising taxes?
The big issue here is I don't wish to participate in the big business versus big government issue. I'm not a disliker of John F. Kennedy or Robert F. Kennedy many years ago, and I'm a big supporter of Ronald Reagan. So my point is a third way. The third way is this. I'm not for big money controlling everything, and I'm not for big government controlling everything. So what am I for? Well, the person closest to making the decision on the bottom ground is the person I want to have money to invest in their pocket. Small business people understand you have one pocket for investment and one pocket for taking care of your needs and charity. And if we don't have that investment money on the frontiers where the opportunities are opening, then we can't advance. Now, without being able to advance, even if we just hold the line what we're doing right now, innovation is going to leave America and it's going to go to India and China. And I am of the opinion that President Obama understands that innovation is being destroyed in our country, and that if it can just be destroyed for another year or so, now that sounds wild, but I'm telling you that small business has to have capital, and that even China and India understand that you have to have capital. Even Russia understands you have to have innovation. So are we going to be innovative and get money into the hands of small business people, or are we going to have giant programs, giant systems where committees make these incredibly confused decisions that are incredibly slow? And that's all I have to say.
So wait, Ryan, does that mean that
That was freaking brilliant.
Does he want to lower
I
or
love
decrease
that.
taxes or increase taxes?
He went for a third way, man.
But is the third way increasing or lowering?
I don't know if he went for a third way. I believe that the government should or should not pay for healthcare.
Should not,
Should not. Why?
because I believe it's the person and employer's responsibility and not the government's.
Do you believe in women's suffrage?
Honestly, I don't think women should have to suffer in America. You know, we should strive towards, you know, pretty much women's rights and equality for men and women. So
So you believe women should have the right to vote?
yeah, of course.
Oh, all right. Thank you.
Yeah.